Hello, guys. Welcome to Thrive. And today I am joined by Luke Page. Woo!
Thrive, ready to thrive. I love your
Ready to
name, by the way.
thrive.
I love your thriving name.
How cool is
It's
it?
cool. Yeah, it's like one of my little identities that I was changing. I got this coach, which was October last year,
Yeah.
and one of my identities I was working on, which is I'm a thriving millionaire coach.
Oof.
So I
Yes.
connect with the thriving word. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And I love how you've just said thriving millionaire coach, because one of the questions I was going to ask you today is all about your 30 days of building $1 million coaching business.
Well, there you go. Here
So
we
let's get
fucking
into
go. Look
that.
out. Sick.
You showed up and you shared for 30 days. I'm not sure if you were consecutive 30 days
Mm.
in the end, but what did you learn from that?
Yeah, what I actually did, I did record them. So I recorded them. The plan was originally to do 5 a week.
Mm.
Um, and I actually finished recording them like that day 30, which I just posted last week, which is fucking hilarious.
It was
Um,
so good.
weird as
I
weird,
danced.
weird. Yeah, fuck yeah, weird and random as hell. I
Brilliant.
recorded that probably a month and a half ago. So I actually did them all, but as I got to I think about day 20 or something like that. I just changed my plan around doing 5 a week because it was
Mm.
like that was all my content. It was nothing but
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I just felt that I wanted to kind of mix it up because for me it was just too like it's the same shit. Because it's a very particular type of content, which
Mm.
it's like it's more raw stuff, even though I'm putting B-roll over a lot of it.
Mm.
It's like kind of telling the story. So I changed my strategy going 20 days in. I'm just like, oh, I've got all these content. Now I'm just going to do one a week. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't end up posting it consistently, but I did record it. And it was a lot of bloody work. It was a major commitment
Yeah.
to do it. But it was good. What was the original question?
What did you learn from it?
What did I learn from it?
Yeah.
Um, Good question. I learned I actually got the idea from this guy that I interviewed to be my videographer years ago.
Hmm.
He did it. And I know a lot of people are doing it these days. It's kind of a
Hmm.
thing that's going on at the moment. But I got the idea from him and he was like having like heaps good traction with it. And I just kind of like fucking I liked the idea. I liked the idea of the rawness, right?
Yeah.
I'm more of a I don't like the 10-second reels. I like to be able to speak for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
So when I saw him doing this thing, telling his kind of story and speaking for a minute and a half, I'm thinking, fuck yeah, sick. And I know I had kind of heard whispers that short form's going, it's more of it the long term. So that thing that's going on in the background with okay, that's kind of moving towards people are wanting the longer form stuff now on Instagram and
Hmm.
Facebook. So I was like, hey, maybe it's kind of a good time to do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and I just getting into it, it was it was a it was actually hard transitioning into that type of content because it was in the first, if you kind of watch the first maybe five of my videos, they're very scripted and edited.
Yeah.
And I was finding it that the transition of going to because say if you do a story, right, and you do a 90-second story, it's kind of off the cuff. You just fucking bang bang bang, you're pausing, you're stuffing up and all like that, and you post it. But
Hmm.
if you're doing a 10-second reel, like every fucking word that you're saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not going to allow pauses and shit like that, or if you are pausing, it's intentional.
Hmm.
So it was almost the blend of the two. I found it was the longness and kind of rawness of a story, but at the same time, you've got an outline and a structure on what you're going to say, and you need to hit certain points hard,
Hmm.
So that was an interesting thing to do because I hadn't done that before. I'd either been 10-second real dude, know every fucking thing I'm doing, or it's like, man, I'm doing a story, I'm talking for 2, 3 minutes here, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
I hadn't blended the two. So that was a good learning. And I really it was a challenge doing it first because I was stuck between the two hemispheres. Like I was like, oh, this getting it right, but then going realness. I was struggling with that. I was like, how do you be real in the moment, but you've got to hit these certain things? I was struggling with that.
Yeah.
Um, so you'll find the first 5 videos are quite scripted. So it's like the first video I speak about, I think my story from memory,
Mhm.
um, like how I become a coach, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was like I had written down, it was literally like it was the whole fucking thing was scripted. So I
Yeah.
was like, it's 10 years ago, I was doing this. And then I went from here, I was working a job that I didn't like and walking into people's houses and selling them blinds and I climbed the ladder of the company. Literally every point was like scripted down and written in a script. And
Wow.
it was everything was planned out. So it was like before I did it, because I was planning to release one every single day. I had to get in front. I couldn't just do this every day. It was like,
Mhm.
so it was super planning, massive planning. It was like, work out what clothes I'm fucking wearing in the shot. Work out what shot I'm doing. Where am I shooting? What type of shot is it? What am I saying? What's the B roll going to be?
Mm.
And I was like, this is fucking intense. Yeah. It's full on, full on. I done the first 5 videos and I was like, this is intense. And then after the first 5 videos, I really let it go. I kind of started doing more shit in the moment and it was
Yeah.
way more easier to make. So that was one thing I learned. Probably from the preparation point of view. Now I do acting. I don't know if you know about that, Kay, but I do a bit of acting. And I must say that I've learned just from watching how production crews work. I must say that um, I took a lot of what I've learned there. I'm not,
Mm.
I'm the person in the shot, but you just watch over the time of doing it. You just kind of watch what they're all doing and the director and how they work. And one thing that when you do acting is that they're super fucking planned more than anything. Every single little detail is planned. There's no surprises. There's of
Yeah.
course there's things that happen in the moment, but the actors have got their fucking scripts. They know exactly what the shots are. They know how many shots they're going to have. They know how long it's going to be.
Yeah.
They know everything. It's super planned out. It's like, hey, this shot here is going to go from 10 a.m. to 10:42. It's everything is planned out. Lunch we're having here. This is what we're having for lunch. So I guess from doing that, I probably took that type of regimentedness
Mm.
um, and applied it to this, which was cool to get started with. It really helped me. But I was just like, man,
Sure.
sustaining this shit, this is not what I do full time. Like I was just like, this is too much. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think after the first 5, I had let it relax a little bit, which was kind of better anyway, because you
Mm.
want to find the realness and rawness in doing those videos. And then I spoke to my mate who I interviewed as my videographer, who never ended up working for me. He turned the job down,
Yeah.
but we just still stayed in contact, and he's been on my podcast and that, and he's a really cool dude.
Mhm.
And I told him my struggles with it. I'm like, man, how are you dishing out all these fucking videos every single day and speaking for as long as you do? And
Mm.
then, you running your videography business. And he goes, dude, I just do it on the spot. I'm like, what?
Really?
I goes, I just do it on the spot. I go, nothing's planned. And I'm like, bullshit. He goes, everything's on the spot. So as soon as he said that, it kind of gave me permission to stop planning so much. And mind you, I would have an idea. Like I'd go, okay, what topic am I talking about? Like there's one where I swim. I do these things. I call them man swims. My
Yeah.
mate and I call them man swims. It's fucking freezing, and you got to swim out to this buoy, and you're scared shitless that you're gonna get eaten by sharks and
Of
that.
course.
Um,
And you're in Melbourne, so it's extra
we're in
cold.
Melbourne, and it's extra cold in Melbourne. So I thought, okay, I had this lady message me right over on Facebook asking something like, because I got a Facebook group and I do lives every week, and I just say, hey, what topic would you like me to chat on this week? So
Mhm.
this lady asked, how do you make interesting content? So I'm like, cool. I'm going to grab that, and I'm just going to do my everyday thing, which I do. I do these swims, and I'm just
Mhm.
going to explain how the concept of how to make interesting content whilst I'm doing something that I do each week.
Yeah, I love that.
Um, so you know what I mean? I got like, you know what you're doing, you have an idea, but in the moment when I'm swimming and I'm saying shit, it's all in the moment. So I went from being super planned to just going, what's the outline of the video here? Then
Mm.
I'm just going to ramble on like I do in a story, and then we're going to kind of cut it back and edit it and put B-roll and shit on top. So it just wasn't really
Mm.
planned as much.
I love that.
Um,
Do you find that when you do it more on the fly, that you're able to kind of really speak from the heart a little bit more, and perhaps even you have these messages that maybe wouldn't have come out had you scripted it previously?
100%. You don't get the
Yeah,
magic. You don't get the magic unless
exactly.
it's fucking coming in the moment. And that's the
Yeah.
thing. with anything in life. The magic moments are not planned; they never can be.
Yeah.
So from an authenticity point of, I can fake authenticity, yeah,
Mm,
easy because I've
yeah.
just fucking, I've got a background in sales.
Mhm.
I have, you learn to fake, you're speaking to someone. It's probably why I got into acting because I've just done sales my whole life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so you go in there and you might be doing role plays. You learn about sales,
Mhm.
and I was actually speaking about this to my wife last night. A typical thing that we would do back when I did sales for this company, people would ask for discounts, right?
Mhm.
You know how much you can discount. But the
Yeah.
little game you used to play would be like this. Say it comes to $5,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Haley comes to $5,000, right? And you can actually come down to 4,700. Cool. You know that, but you're just going, hey, it's $5,000.
Yeah.
He goes, can you do any cheaper? And I said, look, you've come through the home show. You've actually got a 20% discount, which is massive. Yeah, it's a really good
Mhm.
discount.
Mhm.
Look, I obviously want to get your business, but we have given you 20% off. I might be able to budge a little bit, but not a whole lot, Haley. What would we need to do to get your business today?
Mm.
And then she throws out, well, can you do $4,800? And I'm like, look, I don't know, Haley. Yeah, like and this is all fucking, this is acting.
Yeah, I bloody knew that was a game.
Yeah, it's all fucking acting. So then what we'd do would be like, yeah, look, Haley, and I already know I can do 4,700. So I've got the
Yeah,
job, but I can't go, yeah, done.
of course.
Because
Mm.
then she goes, oh, I should have asked for more.
Mhm.
So I've got to go, look, Haley, I want to get your business. I don't know. I'll have to call my boss. I don't think he's going to go for it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So then I'll call the boss and he knows if he gets the call, he's saying fucking, he knows what to do. He's like, oh, I don't know. But he knows if we get in the call and asking the price, it means that we can do it. And he's
Yeah.
just kind of humming and hurrying, playing the game as well. Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
So it's like I can fake authenticity, yeah,
Mm.
because I've been taught to fake authenticity.
Mm.
Majority of people won't know that I'm faking that just because I've
Mm.
done it a billion times. But ultimately, the magic fucking moments that can't be faked, yeah. And I always say to people with stories, this is a
Mhm.
cool question that you brought up. I always say to people with stories, my best shit with my stories is when it's fucking shit happens in the moment,
Yeah.
where I stuff my word up, where a bird flies and almost hits me in the face. Um, Most people stop and they start again. They go, oh, fuck that up. We're going to record again. That's the fucking shit that makes it cool and interesting.
Yeah.
Because whilst the next coach is talking their story and saying about their day and say, oh, I've done this and this is, and trying to make it perfect when life isn't actually perfect. Like birds do fucking sometimes almost fly and hit you in the fucking face, or a bird shits on your head. If
True.
you can get a bird shitting on your head while you're doing a story, man, turn that fucking thing into a reel. That's
That
great.
is magic.
That's magic.
Pure magic.
Yeah. So I love those magic moments. So if the magic moments can only come when you're going fucking in the moment and you let
Mm.
the good and the bad, inverted commas, quote unquote, we'll say in podcast,
Yeah.
quote
Yes.
unquote, inverted commas, when you let them roll, yeah.
Absolutely. And
Mm,
it takes guts. It takes a bit of courage to let that roll, doesn't it? And so is that
yeah.
something that you feel like that you've had to work on, that you've had to kind of tap into something within yourself to just allow that to be okay?
Oh my God. Fuck yeah. Oh my God. Fuck yeah. Like I was the biggest perfectionist in the fucking world. Um,
Really?
100%.
Yeah, wow.
100%.
Okay.
Um, like if like my videos back in the day, they make me ill. I mean,
Mm.
I'm sure you'd be the same. Like you look at your
100%.
videos back in the day and you're just like, fuck, like what a dickhead. It
I share
literally
one
is.
every now and then because I love to
Yeah.
show people where we all begin.
I think it's good that you do
Yeah.
that because a
Yeah.
lot of people just see you, Carly, and go, oh, look at her. She shows up, she's all confident, all that. And then they don't see that you weren't that way.
That's right.
That's it's good to kind of see the gap. Um,
Mm.
but it's yeah, I look at old videos and I was such a performer. Um,
Mm.
and I was just like, because I was kind of doing a bit of video before I started my coaching business, but even
Okay.
when I first started my coaching business and I been doing a video for a bit,
Yep.
um, it was very like how you going, guys? It was lit. That was like I spoke. All right, guys, how you going, guys? Today we're going to be speaking about something super important, your mindset.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're a cockhead, dude.
With
You're a
love.
cockhead, mate. Yeah, with love. So great. It's so good. But it was just I mean, look, that was a little bit over the top, but it was no, it was on the way to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
on the way to that. So yeah, I 100% like you've got to get comfortable. And ultimately what it is you go from why do you be that way? Why do you be someone who has to be perfect or you have to sound good and all? It's because you're freaking out about what people think of you. That's all it
Yeah.
is. So
Exactly.
you go from you caring so much, you
Hmm.
got to be liked and respected or whatever your shit is so much to you slowly stop caring. And it's kind
Yeah.
of like the older you get, the less you fucking care.
Oh, the less
You
fucks.
know,
Absolutely.
fuck yeah, man. I can't wait to be a grandpa. I'll be the silly old grandpa dancing in the fucking street.
I can
And,
see it.
you have all the little 20-year-olds and their fucking whatever they got. They won't even have iPhones then.
Yeah.
It was probably,
You
their
won't be on
eyes,
TikTok.
yeah.
Who knows what
The
you'll be?
fucking eyes
Yeah.
are
The
recording.
glasses.
Yeah. So I'll be that dude. But yeah, that's what I found. You get older, and you don't care as much.
Mm,
That's the gift of getting older. But that's not
yeah.
for everyone though. I don't know if you
So
found the
true.
same.
Oh, look,
Mm.
I feel the same, absolutely. Like, I know definitely the older I've got, the less I care because I realize that someone's gonna judge me no matter what. They're gonna judge me if I'm being
Yeah.
myself, they're gonna judge me
Yeah.
if I'm not being myself, so I'd prefer to be judged for being who I am than
Mm.
for trying to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. That's
Yeah.
just exhausting.
It is exhausting.
But I know when
Uh,
I came into my business, I had this,
mm,
like, perception that I needed to be professional, and so if I would record my stories back then, because this was before Reels, I'd record stories and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I've messed up that word. I've got to start again." And I would
mm.
spend some days hours just trying to get things perfect and feeling like I
Yes.
needed to speak in a certain way. Like I didn't say fuck because I thought, "Oh, who's gonna work with a coach who says fuck?" Do you know what I mean? Turns out a lot
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah. And look, we're lucky being
Mhm.
coaches that we're kind of in an industry where it's really pushed to be authentic in yourself.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, not that you can't do it, but think of it's like, you're a big finance corporate company, and then you're talking to your pro and you're like, all right, fuckers, here we go. We're fucking talking about your $1 million fucking funds
Unless
today.
you're Wolf of Wall Street, that
Wolf
might
of Wall
fly,
Street.
but
It can be done. I always love it when you do see that person who's got the TikTok account. They're in some industry where you're like, man, you ain't meant to be like that. And they're being
yeah,
like that and they're fucking
yeah,
killing it.
yeah.
It's been proven time and time again. People are just wanting super authentic. And when you've got we'll call it the finance exam, when you got the super rusty Aussie dude, yeah,
Mhm, mhm,
who swears, but
mhm.
just works in finance, has got a passion for it, or whatever, and then he just joins the two. It's
Yeah,
so engaging.
yeah,
People just fucking want it.
yeah, we do. I think there is we're in a world where there is so much that you don't know if it's true or not. We've got this world where there's AI, we've got these
Mm,
highlight reels. It's so refreshing to see someone just being human as fuck, living their life, owning their fuck ups, and just getting up and moving and moving and moving.
yeah,
Yeah. Mm.
yeah,
So
yeah. It's a good one.
I would love for you to share a little bit about the past few years for you because
Hmm.
I know you've shared with me you've been very open on your socials that the last few years have been particularly challenging. So
Mm.
how have the last few years in business and your life been for you? What's sort of your journey been?
Yeah. Look, I would say things for 4 years, basically 4 years straight. Yeah, I just went through like a winter season of my life, and
Mm,
it was I started my business about 5.5 years ago. So kind of like the first four, sorry, roughly the first year of business was like pretty rosy. It was like,
mhm,
there wasn't challenges, but things outside life was pretty straightforward. Everyone was all good.
yeah.
About a year in was where just kind of everything fucking just started going wrong, not working, things breaking down, breaking apart, falling apart. And when COVID came in,
Mm,
um, so obviously everyone went through the COVID thing. I don't think there's many people out there that are like, yeah, COVID was fucking sick. That was
yeah.
an awesome time of my life. Most people obviously felt it.
Mhm,
So it just kind of started from there. Yeah, I just had all these things like it was. just yeah, all the things that you want in life, all those little pillars. So what do we want? We want, we want to be healthy on the inside and out, and we want to follow our heart and be passionate about the shit we do. We want
Mhm.
money. We want good relationships and love and connection with
Mhm.
the friends and family.
Yeah.
So almost like all those things that we, from an external point of view, that we want in life, they all broke apart and fell down for me. Some of them were multiple at the same time,
Yeah,
but
wow.
it was major breakdowns in those areas.
Mhm.
And coming from where, going into my business, I was probably, what was the only thing I was missing? Probably the main thing I was missing coming into my business, which is the reason why I started my business,
Mhm.
was my heart. So
Okay.
I had grown my life to the point, because I've been kind of, active with my vision since I was 16 years old, right?
Yeah.
So I got myself into a position in my life where I was like, okay, I had an idea of what fulfillment was and what I needed and wanted and shit. And a big part of it was money. And I became very money driven, money focused.
Yeah.
And I learned a really great lesson um, in my 20s, which money doesn't make you fucking happy.
Mm.
Um, and I threw away and started all again, because I'm like, okay, I got to start again in a way.
Yeah.
So I had basically, got myself into a career where I'd worked my way to the top. I was earning great money and all that. Um, I started my own business in the same industry because I'd learned about this, and I purely started the business to fucking make money. I didn't give a
Mhm.
fuck about the industry I was in. I was just like, I'm great at this. I can do it
Mhm.
better than everyone else. And this is a way to make fucking money, right?
Mhm.
Um, so once I kind of learnt this lesson as I was getting more and more money, I was like, there's something missing. I'm empty. Like I'm even getting all this shit. I'm getting all the stuff that I said that I wanted, but
Mhm.
I'm not complete.
Yeah, wow.
Who says that in that fucking movie? I
You
complete you.
complete
You
me?
complete me.
Is that
What's
Jerry
that?
Maguire?
Jerry Maguire? Yeah,
I
Jerry
think
Maguire.
so, yeah.
Jerry Maguire.
And the money did not complete you.
The money didn't bloody complete. So I learned an awesome lesson. So from
Yeah.
there, you can imagine I'd been in this pursuit of this money thing, which I
Mhm.
thought it was like the answer to everything.
Mhm.
And I had, I was pretty healthy. I was freshly in love with my wife. So
Mhm.
I had fucking all the shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, I was kind of like that. I was like, this is great, but it's just not it. And I
Yeah.
just know, I'm like, well, if I make another $1,000,000, for example, I'm like, I'm not going to be like, oh, this is fucking. I knew right then and there. It's like, this is not it. And
Yeah.
then from there, I went on to I basically go, okay, what is it? And I
Mhm.
just learned that I wasn't following my heart in my life, right?
Mm.
So once I learned that, I basically went into this, you could say, an autumn period of my life where I was transitioning into this change, major change,
Mhm.
because I'm like, okay, it's not the thing that I thought for all these years. I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, my heart's been blocked off, which has kind of led me to this position of working this fucking job, having this business in the wrong fucking industry and career, chasing money. So I then went from, okay, it's not it. It's something to do with this heart thing.
Mhm.
I healed all this hurt that I had. And then my heart kind of opened up, and I fell into coaching. But
Mm.
in the process of doing that, I had to start again. I had to go from fucking, having all this money to basically literally starting all over again.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, COVID came, and mind you, we had a couple of years of money saved up, so it was all good.
Yeah.
But then when COVID came in, just everything started falling apart.
Mm.
My dad got brain cancer. He passed away.
Mm.
We had a miscarriage, my wife and I, who we've been trying to get pregnant for a year and a half.
Wow.
Um, what else happened? I mean, so many things I can't remember. But there's a lot of death in the family. I lost my nana. My wife lost her nana and her granddad. This is
Mm.
all in the space of 4 or 5 months. Lost all the grandparents.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh,
We had our son born, which is, it's
wow.
like when you fucking have a kid, that
Yep.
changes your fucking life.
Mhm.
So we just had all this shit going on. The business was like growing, but it wasn't like, it was kind of stuck at a level.
Mhm.
And then the finances got really constricted, because then we went down to one income, and like
Yeah.
fucking uh cost of living
Yeah.
for us doubled, if not tripled. Um, so it was just like really fucking hard. And then my wife and I's relationship fucking broke down.
Yeah.
That was ultimately the fucking hardest
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm.
That was consistent stress.
Yeah.
You've been through it, right? So you know what it's like where you're living with someone and there's this fucking heat there, and you got a kid.
Oh,
Nothing
yeah.
worse. Trying
Mm.
to keep it all together for the kid, but
Yeah.
then you guys are fucking breaking down. That was a really tough period. So that was in the heat. That was in the highs of it last year.
Mm.
Um, so it was this, and there was more stuff which I can't even think from the top of my head, but it was just thing after thing after thing after thing after thing. And I'm sitting there the whole time being the person that I am, trying to control it all.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to fix it all, trying to fucking make it good.
Yeah.
But no matter what I do, it's not working. And
Yeah.
that's driving me fucking insane.
Mm.
I'd be like, and I literally did this for about a year.
Mhm.
I'd focus on the business. The business would pick up. Then my wife and Layla's relationship would go backwards. Focus on her. We get
Mm.
better. Business goes backwards. And I was like, how the fuck do I make the business and my wife and I's relationship work?
Yeah.
And I was just go jumping back and forth. So it was almost like I just didn't have an answer. So and this thing just went on for and on and on for yeah, it was 4 years solid of
Wow.
hard resistance. And I even from a healthy dude, man, I last year I got fucking unhealthy for probably the first time in my life.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, and it wasn't major shit, but I
Mm.
guarantee I understand how people get disease. Like if I continued like I did last year, I'd be
Mhm.
one of those dudes that had cancer in a few years.
Yeah. Wow.
I had what I have. It was just like niggling things. Like I had dermatitis all over my fucking fingers. Like I'd
Mhm.
never had this shit before. Yeah, my fingers are fucked.
Yeah.
Um,
Wow.
had like sore throat for like just months. Wouldn't go. Go to the doctor. The doctor's like, man, I can't see anything wrong with you. Like those
Mm.
things, those unexplained things, which I
Mhm.
hear all the time with people with like, I've got this thing, but the doctors can't explain it. That's fucking stress. That's all it is.
Absolutely. Yep.
You're stressed, man.
Yep.
So I was getting fucked up.
Mm.
And yes, basically, um, what did the thing that turned around? Things really started to turn around at the start of this year. I've really felt
Yep.
things started transitioning out of the winter period.
Mm.
And just like, I mean, I love the concept of this season thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that with winter, when you transition into spring, you still have fucking shit, cold, rainy days.
Yeah.
But in general, they start to becoming more few and far between. So that's
Yeah.
how I'd really describe this year. I've still had fucking really shit times. My wife and I, about a month, maybe 6 weeks, maybe actually it's probably about 2 months ago, we
Mhm.
went backwards really
Really?
fast in like the space of like a week. Like we're
Wow.
going good, we're making progress, and went boom, like back real quick.
Mm.
We're getting relationship coaching now, which has been so fucking good.
Amazing.
Um, so yeah, things have really started to turn around this year with everything.
Yep.
Health is good again.
Yeah.
Business is better. My wife and I's relationship. So it's like everything's gone from no matter what I do, it's dying, yeah,
Mhm.
and I have
Mhm.
no control. To now, it's like becoming more effortless, and things kind of just work. Am I
Mm.
still working on this shit? Of course. Right now, my wife and I's relationship's the priority.
Yeah.
And yesterday, for example, like we were so fucking close. We were so awesome. We were
Mhm.
such a major team. Um, but we just fell apart. Like yesterday, we went out. I'm sure you relate to this. We went out for a little cafe hop, right? So my
Yeah.
mum took our son,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
I think this is the second, max third time since he is born that we were on a date by ourselves,
Mhm.
um, without shit. A couple of weeks ago, we went out for a party at night for my wife's boss's birthday.
Yeah.
But I mean, just a date with just us. I think it was the second, max third time. I can
Wow.
think of definitely one. I can't think of another one, but I'm just going to say we did another one. So
Yeah.
maybe the second time only in the last 2.5 years or so since we've been a date night.
Yep.
And we've had to rebuild our relationship, like we're like to the point where it's like awkward to fucking speak to each other, to touch each other, like
Yeah.
literally starting all over again. And it was funny. We're having so we did this little cafe hop. So we just went from like cafe to restaurant, and like you get like a snack each type
Yeah.
thing.
Nice.
And we're at this specialized coffee place. and we're drinking the coffee and we're chatting and stuff. And we're like, it was funny. We're like, I think I said, okay, we're actually not too bad at this. You know what I mean? Because it was like for we just don't get in the position where there's not the distraction of Louis.
Yeah.
So to sit
Yeah.
there and be able to talk. And the couple where you look out, you go to the restaurant, there's that couple, they're on their phones, they don't speak to each other.
Yeah.
Like we got to that, we were at that point, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
where we didn't know how to speak to each other again. Like apart from, oh, can you fucking change Louis' nappy? We
Yeah.
didn't know how to speak to each other, and we got to that point. So yesterday was really good because we're like, we
Mm.
actually fucking good, and we had fun together.
Yeah.
So that's the 4 years. Everything broke the fuck down.
Mm.
But it's what I needed. It's what my wife and we needed. It's what our son needed. Like just everything. Because
Yeah.
I'm resilient as fuck now. And before that, I was just a dude where I got everything easy in life.
Mm.
And if things didn't come quick, I'd just give up. But
Mm. Oh, really? I don't get
yeah,
that from you at all.
100%. Yeah, I was a dude.
Yeah.
Everything just came easy in life, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll give up straight away if it was just resistance and crap like that. Um,
Mm. Gosh, I used to be like that too.
Same thing.
Yep, like, I
Yeah.
grew up playing basketball and,
Mm.
if it got too hard, I'd quit, you know,
What do you mean? What got too hard?
like, training, or if I wasn't getting, because I was a really good basketballer, but then as I moved up
Mm.
divisions, if I moved
Yeah.
up and I wasn't the best anymore, I'd quit.
Yeah, I
And
totally relate to that.
mm,
Totally relate to that.
and
Yeah.
then very much like you, I was, then
Mm.
put into these positions where it's like I had to build that resilience muscle. I had to build that grit and that persistence, and I am
Mm.
so grateful for it today. Like, so
Mm.
grateful for it.
You
Mm.
just need it, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yep, you
I
do.
was in a lot of the things that I would do, I was super talented,
Yeah, yep,
but no backbone. Um,
yeah,
and going through all this, I kind of look at now, I don't give a fuck about talents. Yeah. And when I take on a coach, I'm like, I don't give a fuck that you're awesome and awesome on video and you're kind of confident and shit.
mhm,
I just look at your worth ethic, and I'm like,
yep,
if I can see that you really want this thing, I'll get you results.
mhm,
Not the coach that kind of has the perfect looking profile. Those type of coaches, perfect
yep,
looking profile. They're confident on video and shit like that.
yep,
But then they're just the first sign of fucking challenge. It's like they're gone.
yep. Show me who you're being when
Mm,
things are not going your way, because
mm,
that is what tells you so much about somebody and how successful they can be, I think anyway.
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
for
Because
sure.
anybody can show up and, do the things when it's all going really well and we're getting the external validation and you're seeing all of the
Exactly.
things
Yeah.
happen, but it takes
Mm,
a certain strength to actually keep showing up and keep doing the thing when you're not getting the results that you want.
yeah. And you have to do it.
Yeah,
You got to do
yeah,
it. You're going to
yep,
have these shit periods. You're going to have these really tough periods.
mhm,
So you have to
mm.
somehow find out, and that's what we're talking about on Wednesday, aren't we? Talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
how to I just got the artwork back. I'll have to send it to you.
Oh, brilliant, yes, please. By the
What is
time
it?
this goes to air, we will have already done it, so that'll
We've
be
already done
great.
it.
You
Yeah.
guys can go onto the Instagram and have a look at our chat.
I know these guys can't say it, but how to
Oh,
become
yes.
resilient and
Yeah.
never give up.
Fuck
Carly
yes.
Whitwell and Luke Page.
I love it. I love it. And yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, I would never have known, from what I know about you now and what I've seen of you, I would never have
Mm,
known that you were that kind of person previously to just kind of give up. And I think,
mm.
yeah, it is really interesting. People like us who have been in that place before, it's like we've got to go through these things that really challenge us and really push us so we can learn that lesson in building that resilience and just keep showing up. So what was it that got you through that past 4 years when everything was falling down around you?
Yeah. The V word. Good old vision.
Mm,
Um, I wanted my vision that much.
yeah,
And I remember there's a part in the talking about my wife and I relationship breaking down. There's a part where there was the discussions of divorce,
yeah,
and my wife's basically like, because I came from a consistent, steady income, right?
yeah.
Um, and she goes, I just want that again, right? And
Mm,
I basically said to her, I go, look, this is my vision. I go, I don't know if I said it to her, but we definitely had conversations around it.
Mhm.
Basically, where I was like, I will choose my vision over you,
Mhm.
because it
Yes.
was like, this is my fucking baby. I know you've been in my life for 10 years. This thing's been in my life for 22 fucking years.
Yeah.
Um, I have been where you want me to go. Yeah, I've been there, and
Mhm.
that's death to me now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're wanting me to go back there to bring in, the consistent corporate salary,
Mhm.
um, if that's what you want me to do, then we're not meant to be together.
Yeah, wow.
So it was literally, I was like, nothing gets in front of my fucking vision. And obviously, a part of my vision, the biggest thing is my family, the
Of
biggest
course.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
I didn't have a rosy family growing up. And I was just like,
Mm.
the reason why I want all this fucking shit is so I can have a really amazing family. So I can be there for my kids. We can travel places.
Mhm.
I can give them a good message. Yeah. My dad gave me a great message.
Mhm.
Um, but I want to give my kids an even greater message.
The
So
message your dad gave you.
my dad was one of those people where, because they had their business, basically from when they've still got the business. My dad's
Mhm.
passed away, but mum still owns it, and they basically bought into that business when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old. So my whole life, I've just grown up
Mm.
with being a business owner is the norm, right?
Yeah.
And my mum's the fucking worker. My
Mhm.
mum is the hard fucking worker that never fucking sleeps.
Mm.
She looks after everyone, takes care of everyone, and then she's
Mm.
9 p.m. She's in the office doing work.
Wow.
My dad is almost the opposite. He's the dude that makes shit work, but he sits the fuck back and
Mhm.
just real cash. Yeah, he's the type of dude who never stands up. He's always sitting down. I mean, he was overweight, so that's kind
Mhm.
of that
Okay.
thing. But
Yeah.
like he would, the funny as he would sit, the cash register.
Yeah.
So in the shop, he would fucking sit down behind the cash register. That's how lazy he was. Actually, even better than that, in the kitchen, just
No.
to fucking sit down. So he'd have like while stirring the pot, he would have a fucking
No.
seat and sit down. So that sums my dad up, right? Just like,
Wow.
but mind you, he makes shit happen. So he kind
Yeah.
of like
Yep.
he's my mum's kind of like the work of the day-to-day shit, but like my
Mhm.
dad's the risk taker, the guy that just knows that shit's gonna turn out, the
Yep.
optimist,
Yeah.
the guy that gets the business. But
Mm.
then he's very like, okay, then you really just chill the fuck out. And I kind of learned that from my dad, where it's like
Mm.
you make shit happen in your life, but you also kind of chill out and just don't work your ass off.
Yeah.
That was a really good man. I learned so many things from my dad, but that was a really good one.
Yeah, that's incredible. Mm.
Um, yeah, I don't really know where I was going with the rest of it. So,
Yeah. No,
mm,
that's amazing. And I really love what you said. And I can really resonate with what you've said about like your vision, right? And you as the masculine in your family, I think that really shows like that you're really taking that role seriously because your
mm,
vision is so fucking important to you. And I think where we, are seeing challenges in society with the masculine and the feminine roles is that the masculines are kind of like, oh, don't worry about the vision, it'll just die with me and I'll try and keep everybody else happy. But then the feminines are having to try and, step in and take over that, which is kind of like
mm.
throwing the balance out. So I really love that you have that vision as such a high priority.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
Mm,
you gotta. If you don't really have a vision or where you're heading, then you just do the day-to-day shit.
yeah.
Um, and say we're talking about business here, but if you're running a business, and when you do get into the point where things get hard, and
Mm,
whether it's in the business hard
mhm,
or outside, life is affecting the business in some way,
mhm.
because either way, it's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Your business might be sick, but then your relationship breaks down, and it's going to
Yes.
affect how you show up your business. So
Yeah.
you're going to have both.
Yeah.
Um, so the fucking the vision's the thing that just makes you go, well, it's worth it.
Mm.
Otherwise, it's not. It's way easier going out and getting a job where you got no
Oh,
responsibilities, you get the steady income, right?
absolutely.
Way fucking easier.
Yeah.
Um, so it's not work, because everyone just goes, oh, well, coaching business. We'll talk coaching business because you help coaches as well.
Yeah.
Everyone sees what the coaching business dream is.
Mhm.
And then they go, cool, I'm just going to post a couple of videos. They're going to go viral. And then fucking bang, I'm in the tropical islands. Might do a
Yeah.
coaching call once a week type of thing.
With
that
my
type of
laptop
shit.
on the beach.
That time on the beach,
Yeah.
couple of little, hey guys,
Yeah.
got little 5 second reels,
Goodness. Yep.
that's what people see, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just it's nothing but total dedication. Total fucking dedication required to make it work.
Yeah.
Um, and it's exciting. Like my wife just did an acting course on Saturday,
Amazing.
and she's just so like she came home pumped. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
just like so fucking. She just you could just see how alive she was.
How good.
Um, she started doing because like she did like acting when she was a singer and she was a dancer when she was young, and
Mhm.
I fucking said fucking do the acting stuff. Like I do it. It's like it's fucking you'd be able to find it. And her doing it because she started kind of doing it about 6 months ago.
Mhm.
And she's like, I really love this. It's so fun to do it. I used to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So she's going next level. She's doing an acting course. I haven't done any
That's
of that, but
great.
she's like, I really want to do this. And like she came home, she's talking about the acting course and face lit up. And
Oh,
I
how good.
just saw she started to feel what I feel, which is
Mhm.
she's like, when you're so pumped about what you do,
Mhm.
you just have this thing that pushes you forward and pulls you forward.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I do with coaching. There's fucking shit days, shit weeks, shit months, shit times, and fucking
Yep.
real hard times. And I've wanted
Mhm.
to give up a billion times, right? I don't
Yep.
know how many times I've listened to. I don't know what you do when you want to give up. I listen to YouTube motivations. And it's just it's always I don't know why it's always like dudes.
Yep. Yeah, I've
It's
got a
always like
couple that I
come
listen to
on,
as well.
go
Oh,
shit
the
up and go.
fearless motivation.
Oh, yeah, fearless motivation, all that shit.
That's
So
one,
I
yeah.
just listen, and I don't know why it works for me. Like
Yeah.
literally, that's all I need. I literally
Yeah.
need just a big pep talk because you go into pity. I don't know about you, but
Yes.
you go
Yeah.
into oh man, this is happening. But I just need that slap. I need some dude that's like that big army masculine dude just to literally
Yeah.
come in, punch me in the face, and say,
Yeah.
"Fucking get up, Luke, you
Get
idiot!
up, bitch.
Get up, bitch! Stop
Yeah.
whining." And it works for me. Like just like a
Yeah.
10-minute thing. I put my AirPods on and whatever I'm doing, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's fuck, I don't even know what this is what I do. I get into rabbit holes and I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I love
But
it.
anyway, it sounded all right, I guess.
It sounded great. I do much the same. Do you know Alex Tripod?
Yeah, I do. Alex, she was a hat, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, she's got a few
The
really
money
great.
manifesto girl.
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's got a few really good, YouTube audios that I'll
Mm,
just put on and 10,
yeah,
15 minutes and I am back in the
bang,
game.
you're back in it.
Yep, back
That's
in the
good.
game. Yeah, yeah. So I think it
Yeah,
is so important to highlight the importance of actually having a tool or some kind of strategy for when you do feel like giving up.
hell yeah, because you're gonna
Yeah,
want to. You're gonna want
yeah,
to. I would say one of my strengths compared to generally what I see from coaches,
yeah,
one of my strengths is how quick I can bounce back. So
yeah,
I am like you and I go down just like you.
yeah.
But I just think that a lot of people just take the whole week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to bounce back.
Mhm.
So there's no difference. I'm
Yeah,
coming down like you do. Um, and it's like those days, yeah. Like it's fucked up. You have a day and it's full roller coaster. You start, you're like, I'm fucking
absolutely.
pumped. And then for some reason, nothing even happens sometimes.
Mhm.
Sometimes nothing even happens. 4 hours later, and you're just like questioning your life.
Big time.
It's seriously fucked up. And this is a ride, the ride of an entrepreneur. You have to
Yeah,
go through this.
yeah, yeah.
So you're going to come down. I come
Mhm,
down just like you do. But
mhm,
it's the bounce back rate. Like
mhm,
how quick can you bounce back? And
mhm.
if you're take a week or two, and I get there's times where you take, like I had maybe I did do a video day 31 or day 32. I re-recorded this
Okay.
maybe a month ago or something like that.
Yeah,
I think actually that was after my wife and I had that fight, right? I was down for 3 days, which is
yeah,
huge to me.
yeah, yeah.
Huge,
Mhm.
massive, because I was kind of like, oh my God, we'd made all this progress. I thought we're finished.
Yeah.
And I was so
Mhm,
down because I was like, I thought we're out of this patch of my life, which was so fucking hard.
mhm.
I thought we're done, but it's not done. And I was like scared. I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. I went from hope to the opposite to hope, where it's like, can we actually do this?
Yeah.
Um, so I was down for like 3 days. So
Mm,
Monday, so the fight was on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday afternoon. I think I started feeling. Actually, it was almost 4 days because I remember it was Thursday morning. Started
mm.
coming good. Um, so what was your question again?
Can't remember.
Oh, they are. Oh.
I was too engrossed in your story.
Yeah,
Um,
this is where I
but
need
yes, no, we're all gonna fall, right? But it's how long you spend
the
down
bounce
there,
back, the
right?
bounce
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So you've kind of
yeah,
like mastered that bouncing back.
pretty much. It was just like, yeah, that was like a big thing for me, just three,
Yeah,
4 days or whatever it was.
yeah,
Um, so just you've got to have something, yeah, to get you back.
yeah.
And it's you've got things to turn to type thing, not
Yes,
where it's like, oh, you're in the main, like, oh, what do I do from here?
exactly. And
Get
even
shit
and not
moving.
waiting for something external to happen either. It's
Oh
like,
hell no,
what can I control right now? I can control my inner world. So what can I do that is going to help me get into that state again?
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Is you can't be the external world waiting
No.
for that. It's got to be
Mhm.
the internal shit. So
Mhm.
got to have stuff in the bank. You got to have,
Absolutely.
like, I have that little YouTube thing.
Yep.
But it
Yep.
depends. Like, I'll tell you what I did for the 3-4 dayer that I was down. I
Yeah.
took the whole morning off
Yeah.
and I basically meditated for about 4 hours. I did all these different
Wow.
meditations. I did
Mhm.
journaling. I basically stacked all the things that I had because
Yep.
I'm like, this is fucking serious. I haven't been down this long in a long, long time.
Mhm.
So I'm like, I basically took all my ammo, which is
Mhm.
journaling's one of them. Yeah.
Yep.
Getting all the shit out of your head. A little trick with journaling that I like is be fuck. So for example, I'm an optimist. I'm positive. All
Mhm.
right, but we've got if you're that way, you've also got the opposite, the
Yes.
law of polarity. Like I'm pretty sure you were talking about, right? You've got
Yep.
the fucking the darkness and the
Mhm.
demons and the complaining and the victimhood in you.
Yeah.
Um, with the journaling thing, I think if you've got shit going on, you're not feeling in a good state,
Mhm.
write it down. But I don't know if I heard this or I learnt it. I was doing this when I was fighting with my missus last year. Getting it out to a violent level. And when I say violent level, I'm just referring to almost like fucking write down fuck.
Yeah.
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 Exclamation mark. Like
Mhm.
you're
Mhm.
yelling it out. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You're like saying shit like, if you're going to victimhood, why the fuck is this happening to me? And like
Yeah.
you're fully letting it out and you're almost like pushing it out. You're not writing it, I'm not feeling good right now.
Mm. 'Cause how
Um,
authentic is
yeah,
that, right?
fucking authentic. Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to get the deep, fucking dirty thoughts. And this
Mm.
is uncomfortable for you if you don't like to show up. I don't like to show up that way. I'm a
Yep.
positive dude.
Mhm.
Um, I'm an optimist.
Yep.
Even when shit's not going right and I'm getting scarcity mindset or worrying or wherever it is, I'm like,
Mhm.
I instantly, no, don't think about that, Luke. Think
Yep.
about that's the kind of way that I go.
Yep.
So if you're not used to this is scary and confronting.
Mhm.
Um, but give it a go. Get fucking violent on the page.
Yeah.
Get
Yep. Gotta get the rage out.
the rage out. Um, so that's it. I did journaling. Yeah, these meditations that I do. I got a bunch, obviously, Joe Dispenza, which we are
Yep.
talking about.
Mhm.
Um, one cool one, which I don't do often, but I do every now and then, is fucking screaming.
Yeah.
There's two places you can do it. One, I surf, so
Yes.
do it under the water.
Nice. That's
Yeah,
good.
my mate actually did it. So I went out. This is probably about 2 years. I got it off him. About 2 years ago,
Yeah.
we're out in the surf,
Mhm.
and he kept on falling off his board, and he was
Mhm.
getting so frustrated. And then he screamed under the water. It wasn't intentional, but he fucking did it. And I was
Yeah.
pissing myself. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you need to fucking settle the fuck down, man. We're just surfing. But from that,
Mm.
um, I kind of saw this video of this dude in his car and he was screaming, letting it out and all that. And I tried doing it once and I felt so fucking good after it. But I'm
Yep.
like, this is intense. Like if
Yep.
you obviously got to get away from people,
Yeah. Into a pillow.
into a pillow. Yeah. So somewhere where
Mm.
you can just not be heard, but under the water in the ocean. I've done
That's
it.
great.
I've done it
Yeah.
twice in the ocean, so you can just put your head on the water. No one fucking hears you. I
No,
don't think. That's a
that's
good one.
brilliant.
Fucking screaming, journaling,
Yeah.
meditating,
Yeah.
doing the breathing exercises, the Wim Hof stuff
Yes.
that I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really letting the shitness out.
Yeah.
You've got to first step one, let the shitness out. And
Yep.
it's kind of, if we had to describe it, violent and purposeful and forced.
Yeah.
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 Once you've done that,
Mhm.
and if you're a woman listening to this and you're kind of like, oh, it's a bit that's confronting for me. I get it. It's going to be confronting. It's going to be
Mhm.
aggressive. It's going to
Mhm.
feel wrong. It's got to do it. Let it out. Step two is go, cool. Now I've got it out. Let's
Mhm.
start talking and looking and focusing on the sunny days.
Yeah.
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 Um, the biggest issue that I used to do was positive, Luke, got to be positive, got to be positive. Suppress those feelings, suppress those feelings. Don't
Mhm.
acknowledge that you're scared or you're angry or you're frustrated. That all
Yeah.
that will do is just build you up and you're going to pop. You'll pop in public. Oh
Yeah.
my God. I used to be the
Mhm.
dude that with my mates, I used to get pissed and I used to my mates would always laugh about it, but it was this I would get this things would tick me off
Mhm.
to my 20s and I
Yeah.
would snap
Mhm.
and go hunting to bash my mates. So say for example, we're in like a room and we're kind of just having a drink and shit.
Yeah.
Something happens. Maybe it's my mates, one of my mates throws a bottle at my head or something at my head. Something happens that ticks me and I go into Hulk mode and then
Mhm.
everyone's like, and I'm literally looking for the nearest person where I can grab him and belt the shit out of him. That's
Wow.
how much shit I had in me back in my
Mhm.
20s. And this is before I healed my heart, but I was
Yeah.
so fucking angry. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so if you don't let that shit out, you're gonna pop in public. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the cork, trying to push the cork under the water. It's gonna come out and it's gonna
Yeah.
explode, right?
It's gonna
Yeah.
explode. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's
Mm.
powerful. That's incredible. What does the next year look like for Luke Page?
Yeah, the next year is fucking awesome.
Mm,
I'm so excited for the next year. I'm just so excited because I know what's ahead. I know what's
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
Um, there's shit days and shit times and shit weeks ahead. No probs. Rainy days, cool. But in
Mhm.
general, I'm in a spring season now.
Yeah.
So life's just going to get so much better. Life is continually getting better by the week now.
Mm,
Um, so I'm just really pumped. I'm just really pumped for, this vision that I've had for 22 years. It will I am pretty confident within the next year, it'll be, okay, Luke, you can literally say you've ticked that vision.
yes.
Um, and that's pretty
Brilliant.
crazy. That's going to be like 23 years of pursuing this thing that you want. And you've finally got it.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. I'm not like, well, you've got it. What do you do with your life? I'm like, oh, I'm fucking done. No, no. I'll just go, well, what do I now want?
Just the
What's now
beginning.
important to me? It's just the
Yeah,
beginning of the next one.
exactly.
So
That's amazing.
I'm just like it's kind of like you would kind of, I'm sure you relate to this, but when you go after something and you've put so much time and energy and effort and dedication and it starts to fucking happen. It's
Yeah.
just I'm just super fucking proud. I'm super proud of not giving up because I could have given up in the last few years, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you
And the
should be
old
proud.
thing, which is what is it? The breakthrough comes after the breakdown. It's legit. I know you've
Absolutely.
heard it.
It's fucking true.
I know you've heard it, but it's fucking legit because it literally is.
It really is.
You could say the deepest, darkest time of my life, which was literally December last year. Yeah.
Mm.
It was
Mhm.
where it's like, it was almost, I was living at my mum's.
Yeah.
Um, and it was kind of like, are we going to divorce my wife and I? I
Mhm.
was like, because I just feeling so shit and still trying to show up my coaching business, which was so fucking hard to do. I was
Oh,
just like,
yes.
this is so hard to do. Had all these
Mhm.
health issues. Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say it's probably the darkest time of my life right then. And
Mm.
then little do you know, technically, a couple of weeks later was the technical breakthrough, which is I could literally notice a spring transition.
Yeah.
So it literally is legit. I know we've heard this and read it on quotes, people, but it's legit. Like if
Yeah.
the deepest, darkest time, like that's your breakthrough right there.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
like you said about, the seasons before, it's like
Mm,
winter doesn't last forever.
no.
Yes, it sucks while you're in it, but you know that spring is coming. right?
It
Just
is.
like you know that autumn and winter are going to come around again. But it's
Mhm.
cyclical, and I think that's really beautiful, and I think once we can accept that and embrace it, life gets to be so much easier because we're not expecting it to be sunshine every single day because that's just not realistic.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Mm.
Um, Going from everything's got to be perfect all the time in order for me
Mhm.
to be happy
Mhm.
to life is ups and downs and everything in between, and that's what makes it all rich.
Yeah.
Um, and just having a vision that you're striving for, but also just being cool where you're at right now, being
Yes.
excited for the future,
Mm.
but also just being cool where you're at right now. I think it's
Yeah,
just like I think that's the ultimate mix that you want.
I agree. Oh, perfect. What a brilliant way to end. Where can everybody find you?
We'll go podcast. So the
Yes.
Luke Page podcast. And then on, if you're an Instagram user, Instagram at Luke_Page.
Amazing. So excited to see the next year and beyond for you. This has been so much fun. Thank you.
Thanks for having me on.